Let's bring in Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Republican of South Carolina. Congresswoman, you want people to stop playing the blame game. Okay, but you've got to tell us, who do you think is to blame? Who is responsible for this mess?
Well, it's obvious. I mean, the exit strategy today is gone from chaos to catastrophe at this moment. But our focus right now should be getting U.S. citizens out of Afghanistan and looking at some of the feedback from, quote, the Taliban. The White House is surprised that terrorists are acting like terrorists. But our number one priority right now is that we don't evacuate. We do not leave Afghanistan until every single American has been evacuated. And that's where our focus should be right now. There's plenty of time to point fingers and look at the last 20 years, in fact, four administrations, two Republican and two Democrat.
If you say, I agree, we got to get everybody out. But if we make good on that pledge, we're going to be firing guns in anger, because we're going to have to break through that Taliban cordon around the airport and go get our people. Are you prepared for that?
Absolutely. And in fact, it sounds like we need even more troops on the ground than we have today. We learned over the weekend there was a second perimeter put in by the Taliban. The way that I believe, and I believe America agrees, we should be out of Afghanistan. But the first step is to get our citizens out, and then the allies that are on the ground. Next, the second step should be to demolish or remove our equipment and our munitions. Third, then our military evacuates. And we did it in reverse order, and we completely missed the second step. So there's no doubt that this has been botched. But I want to make sure that we get our people out before we do anything else at this juncture. And trying to listen to the Taliban on the arbitrary August 31st deadline, we shouldn't be doing that. We don't leave until every single American is out of there.
On the program today, this program, we've been taking a closer look at the president's performance. That is, when he's reading from the teleprompter, when he's holding a news conference, whether he's focused or not, whether he's forgetful or not. And we've raised the question, is the president up to the job? Would you answer that question?
Well, I do believe his competency should be brought into question at this juncture. We saw what the teleprompter said when he had his press conference last week. He refuses to take questions both from press when he has these press conferences, or even from members of Congress for that matter. But we've got time to deal with that once we get through this crisis right now. There's nothing we can do about it right now other than put our focus on American citizens and getting them the heck out of Afghanistan. At
1:30 Eastern, the president is due to hold some kind of, I don't know if it's a press conference or not, but he's making an announcement, supposedly about COVID-19. He must take questions about Afghanistan, right? I mean, he can't walk away from the podium like he did last Friday.
No, and he has a habit of walking away from the podium. And quite frankly, I've been surprised, but also I'm glad to see that members of the mainstream media are taking him and his administration to task over the way that we are exiting Afghanistan. They decided to do this in the height of fighting season, the end of August, early September. Why not in the middle of the dead of winter, when the Taliban are not doing as much fighting in the region? And I'm glad to see that. I hope that we can get all of the reporters to ask questions in the coming days and weeks and months. And there'll be time, trust me, there will be time for hearings, and there will be congressional hearings on this months from now, as there should be. This should be fully investigated.
Just think if it was President Trump making a mess of things in Kabul like this one. Anyway, another story entirely. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thank you very much for being with us. We hope to see you again real soon. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Sure thing.